Welcome, everyone. Our topic today is that of vulnerability. When I think about how vulnerability is defined in our culture, it seems that it's thought of as like opening up so someone can hurt you, being vulnerable to pain. Unfortunately, because of how it's understood, it doesn't sound like a good idea. Instead, we grow up thinking that what we need to do is to protect ourselves because we don't know what to do with life's emotional pain. And so instead of being open, we shut ourselves down. We squeeze off the pain that we feel in our bodies. It's kind of like when you cut yourself in the kitchen. You clamp your finger down on the cut, not just so that it stops bleeding, but also so that you can't feel the throbbing anymore. It's the same with regards to our heart. We squeeze it off and then we armor up. We put this shield on to protect ourselves. What we don't understand is the cost of that because emotional range acts like an accordion. When you shut down on one end to your agony, you shut down on the other end to ecstasy. You sacrifice the high in order not to feel the low. And when you shut down to your pain, you shut down to joy, and so on and so forth. You literally squeeze off your life in trying to protect yourself. So when I think about vulnerability, what I think about is opening up. Do I have the courage to open up, to experience the full range of what I came here for to experience? Do I want to be alive? For me, my intent would be that I can open up, soften, and open up so much that the entirety of the universe could dance through me in a moment. That's vulnerability. Even when we just squeeze off a little bit, we say, well, just a little bit. That wonderful poet and mystic Khalil Gibran would say that a half life is still a life you didn't live. So, what does it mean to open up? How do we go about doing that? In order to do that, we have to be willing to go inside and feel the sensations that are there, whatever they are, and to go in with that compassion, that love, that kindness, that tenderness, these high frequencies of the divine feminine, and to allow that love to ignite those barriers, to set them on fire. So those barriers to our heart, to us, to who we really are, melt away. And when they do, then we can begin to open up. You know, the symbol of the Magdalena, it was the rose. It's just like the lotus in the East. The rose begins to bloom through that fire, through that light, through nurturing, through tenderness. It begins to turn and open its soft petals and bloom. And when it does, then that light comes through that place that once knew that pain and suffering. The light flows through the wound. That's how the light enters you, as Rumi would say. And so by being vulnerable, by opening up, by softening our hearts, we know light, we know love, we know the experience of life and the universe that we all came here to taste. We no longer live half a life. We live a full one. Thank you so very much for joining me.